In episode 6, we are going to be exploring the use of space. This painting has really taken shape, and I'm happy that you are here.
Hi, I'm Jillian, and in my channel, you get to see how I help you to embrace the mess and magic of watercolor. I'm a psychologist turned full-time watercolor artist, and I'm passionate about bringing you on my journey.
Here's a look at the supplies that I'll be using. Our page is really starting to grow, and I am so happy that you're right here with me at episode 6. So I'm starting off the painting with this really small little pink sprigs that I see in the reference photo, and it's really blur, so I don't have such a good idea of the details exactly, but I'm just going to follow the shape that I see. And what I'm doing is I'm using my small round brush, just dabbing little petals all around, and I'm also varying the color values, so you can see that the lighter colors are actually just diluted paint, the same exact paint that I'm using. I just diluted it, and then I'm also adding in slightly darker values as well. So you could see that I grabbed some of my red and I just popped some of them in while it's still wet. Subsequently, I'm using my green to kind of connect some of these little flowers along the way. I'm not really making it too detailed because I want this flower to be kind of in the background while all the other flowers with more details stand out. So that's something you want to think about. And as I'm going around my painting, I'm also starting to pay attention to certain flowers that might still need a tad bit of detail. So I'm just adding in a little bit of greens to my Queen's End lace, which we did in the last episode. So if you want to check that out, that's going to be in my playlist. You can check it out in the description because I've got everything all listed there, and you can totally binge watch on all of these short mini episodes. I'm really trying to kind of utilize the space, and I decided that it would be really fun to just put a small little yellow flower just peeking at the back of this pink flower here. And this is something that I noticed from the reference photo, that there were flowers that are sitting on top of other flowers. So this is what exactly I'm trying to capture as well. And you can see that I'm going to be doing something similar and scattering them throughout the painting as well. I love to have the stems really long, as you can see. I'm adding in this really thin kind of weed here, and these are just made of little lines. I'm using my round brush in size 6 Princeton Heritage. I've got all my supplies listed in the description below, and then subsequently I'm using my dirty water, just pulling out little petals or little buds. And I find that these actually match the white flower as well as the Queen's End lace. As you can see, I'm going around just fussing about some of the other flowers, making sure that they've got nice detail. And then I'm also adding in more leaves just to keep that leaf company that we have painted in episode 5. These leaves are literally just fillers to fill in the space, and as I mentioned, make sure that you have them nice and curved and play around with the shape. I actually think that it's fun to just overlap this leaf with the yellow petals that you can see there, so I've overlapped it. I'm using chrome oxide green in this, and it's a slightly more opaque paint, so this is why you can see that when I lay it over the yellow flower, it doesn't really show as much transparency. I'm sorry that the video has not been very clear at the leaf at the bottom, and you can see that my kid has also come in. So these paintings were done early in the morning, so my kids love seeing the painting slowly build up as well. When you add flowers that are leaning towards the side, I think you give the composition some movement, and everything was all facing front, and suddenly something that's facing towards the side kind of leads the viewer's eye to look in a different direction. So I think that that's something for you to consider as well as you're building up your composition, keeping in mind again the white spaces. Now I can see that there is a lot of white space just down on the right hand side, and this is where I'm just going to be painting a few fallen petals. So what I've done is that I put down a thick amount of pigment, and then I washed off my brush, pulling it with just water, and you can see that the paint and pigment just runs and follows that water trail, and I find that that gives your petal such nice effect as well, and you get to capture that light in the middle of the petal. Utilize the wetness of your paper and get those nice blends. Now of course I'm going to add yet another leaf here. I'm using my favorite color, which is cobalt green, and you can see that it's a little bit of a greenish blue hue. And I think that that's really fun to match that lilac purple flower that's sitting in the front. So always think about how you're going to match your colors as you're putting them down together also, so that there is some color harmony between the different elements in your picture. I'm grateful for you joining me as I build on this painting. This painting was really fun to do, and I did not expect to create it as an episode like that. I did think about just putting everything together in one video. However, I do feel like just cutting it up into different episodes gives you the opportunity to appreciate each flower as they are, as well as give yourself a break. And I think that the message that I want to do when I'm sharing with you each of these episodes is to tell you that when you're creating a painting, you don't have to sit down and create all 20 flowers at one go. However, you can break up your painting into 2 to 3 flowers at each day and then come back to it and slowly add to your composition. That's going to be so much more fun, doable, and also you feel good about having just created one little piece of the puzzle as you continue to build up your little painting. I hope that this video has been inspiring, fun, and also easy for you to watch. I'd love to know what your experience was as you were watching these videos. Let me know your comments, your feedback, and if you'd like to see something similar like that again, so that I can continue to give content that you enjoy, you like. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you again next time.